Labyrinth is another case where the pieces are all there for a decent game, but it never really comes together. I'm going to say some things about this that'll make you go, oh, that sounds interesting. I assure you those aspects of the game are far less interesting as you play it. Naturally, Labyrinth is based on the Jim Henson movie, and you can actually see the outlines of the plot in it. In a moment of pique, Sarah said to her baby brother, "I hope the Goblin King takes you away," and those magic words summoned David Bowie. Sarah wants to get her baby brother back, so she has 13 hours to navigate the maze before his castle, and then confront David Bowie to recover her brother. Now, if I've been keeping track correctly, this is the first Famicom game from Atlas. They're going to be developers for hire for a long time, but they will publish a couple of their own games before we're done. The credits at the beginning mention Activision, but they weren't involved with this. They published the text-adventure computer game, and it seems like this is just a licensing agreement. This game is an overhead shooter where you're controlling Sarah directly. She has a long-range attack that takes out monsters, and instead of having lives or a health bar, when she gets hit she loses time. You start with 13 hours, which is really about 26 minutes, and contact with enemies can drain that away pretty quickly. But there's ways to recover time. Lipstick gives you an hour back. Watches give you 3 hours. The books, which have to be used from your inventory, give you 5 hours back. And you can buy time from the wise man at the center of the hedge maze. We'll get back to him in a moment. You earn money by collecting treasures or by killing enemies, and you use it to buy more time from the wise man, or you can purchase items from the worm. The real goal of the game is to get 12 parts of a key that will unlock David Bowie's castle. The keys are scattered throughout the individual mazes of the labyrinth, and you'll have to find the correct paths to each of them. Also, each area in the labyrinth has 1 coin. If you get 3 of those and talk to the wise man, you'll upgrade your attack and defense. You begin outside the labyrinth, and your first goal is to find out how to get in. There are many ways to open the door, and some of them give you better rewards. Of course, there's nothing in the game to tell you how to open the door. Then after talking to a worm in an infinite corridor, and navigating a small stone maze, you reach the hedge maze, which is the heart of the game. It's a maze full of teleporters that will put you in spots that look identical to where you are. The key is the wise man at the center. He can restore your time, but also after you talk to him, he tells you where the next key is located. This is actually tricky even if you speak a bit of Japanese, since he uses some pretty archaic terms when giving directions. If you exit that center area in the right way, then you're teleported to the next labyrinth map. Now, based on what happened initially, I was expecting Labyrinth to be a lot more puzzle-like. And it's not. After those initial sections, you wind up just walking through areas, shooting up enemies, and sticking to the path until you reach the key. It doesn't take long until it stops feeling like a labyrinth and just more like a regular shooter. There's only one more thing to talk about in this game, and that's the companions. You'll find these hearts from time to time, and when you collect one, you can assign it to one of your 3 companions. Once they have 3, they'll appear to help you. You can also summon them with the music box if you've already given them 3 hearts. The companion usually shadows you, but you can control them a little bit by pressing the B button, which halts them in their tracks. The best thing I can say about Labyrinth is that the game does a reasonable job of representing the movie. You can kind of tell which scenes certain areas are supposed to be, but beyond that, it just comes up short. It feels like there should be a bit more adventure and puzzle solving, given the theme. And the action that it's relying on isn't that great. I'm not sure why they constantly teleport you back to the hedge maze, only to be teleported right back out again. It would feel better if it was continuous. it would feel more like progress through the labyrinth. In the end, this is just a mediocre game. Not bad enough to hate, and yet nothing really good in it either.